You ever liked someone so much that when you stop liking them, you look back on all the things you used to overthink and you're like, that was the bare minimum. They would do the bare minimum of just being a respectful human being, and you were so delusional that you thought that they liked you too. And then you kind of just cringe because you're like, I can't believe I thought that. I can't believe I was hoping so much for them to like me that a simple compliment or them opening the door for me or them, hey, asking how my day was meant that they liked me too. So then you kind of promise yourself like, I'm not going to do that again, okay? I'm never going to overthink this again. If I like someone, I'm going to tell them and I'm going to find out if they like me and I'm not going to go through this delusional state ever again. But then unfortunately, like the cycle just continues. And that's okay. I think part of the infatuation stage includes delusion. Stay safe, guys. Listen, I feel like everyone has done this when they really like someone, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but stick with me here, okay? We would do these two things over text message just because we didn't want them to suspect that we really liked them. So one, we wouldn't reply too fast because we didn't want them to think that we were too eager to talk to them. And two, we would never double text. I don't know what it is, but we just wouldn't double text. It wasn't even an option. But let me tell you this, okay? I think that you can do whatever you want to do. Text them if you want to text them because you want to talk to them. Let them know you want to talk to them. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's just it. If they don't like you, then they don't like you. And that's not on you. You deserve someone that wants to talk to you. Listen, I think the scariest people to piss off are not the ones that are extremely vocal about being upset. It is actually the opposite. I think the scariest people to piss off are the ones that are really, really quiet. They're the ones that you could be talking to and they can be looking you dead in the eyes, no emotion, and they're not going to say a word because they know that the moment they open their mouth, they are going to say the most disrespectful things anyone could ever think of. Plot twist, I also think that the same people that I'm talking about are actually the nicest people you could ever meet. So for you to piss off one of the nicest people ever, it's like they're never really upset, but the moment they're upset, you know you're fucked. Listen, I feel like we all subconsciously do this when we really like someone, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but stick with me here, okay? So let's say you guys are hanging out in a group setting. It's you, your crush, and a couple of other friends, and you guys are walking from one place to the next. Have you realized you never ever walk directly in front of your crush? Like, you will always either be slightly behind them while walking or kind of next to them. And that's because when you like someone, you tend to match pace. You will go the same speed they're going when they're walking. But you will never walk directly in front of them, and you will never walk far too ahead from your crush. And I know that it's not a big deal, but I just think it's something so little, yet so mind-blowing of a thing that we do when we like someone. Do you do that? You ever ask a question knowing you're not going to like the answer? Like, we're really out here just breaking our own hearts, but we need to hear it from them. Not just me, right? Listen, this is how you get your best friend to admit that they have feelings for someone without actually having them admit that they have feelings for that one person, okay? Stick with me here. So you guys are hanging out, you guys are talking. I want you to look directly at your best friend, and I want you to be like, oh my goodness, blah, 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 name is over there, and point at a specific direction. Notice that your bestie is gonna be like, okay, because they're gonna try to play it off like it doesn't matter, but they will look everywhere else but that one direction you pointed at, okay? And then you're also gonna notice their energy change. They are no longer loud, they become quieter, a little bit more closed off, a little bit more poised, as if they know someone's watching them, right? And then the second thing, I want you to look at your bestie and be like, oh my goodness, let's go say hi. Your bestie is gonna panic. They're going to be like, no, I don't want to bother them. They're going to make up any excuse to not go and say hi to this one person. But if your bestie did not have a crush on this one person, it would not be difficult to just, hi, or to just look in that direction. But all of a sudden, Their body is facing this way, eyes are still on you, but they're not looking in that one direction. Why? Because they have feelings for that person. You were right. Listen, I don't know if anyone has ever brought up the specific best friend rule, but I'm gonna bring it up and you can agree to disagree, but please let me know, so stick with me here, okay? So let's say you and your best friend are out and about, you guys are hanging out, having fun, but then all of a sudden your best friend's like, we gotta go, grabs their stuff and starts booking it to the door. You do not sit there and ask your best friend, why? What's going on? That is not the time. You need to grab your stuff, head out the door with your best friend, and when you guys get out of that specific area, that's when you're like, okay, what the heck is going on? You do not ask why when you guys are still in the place that your best friend is trying to leave. Stop, because I feel like common sense isn't all that common these days. Listen, I am an advocate for tough love, especially when it comes to your best friends. You tell them how it is, of course. However, when they are crying to you and they're telling you how they're feeling and they're getting everything off their chest, let them. Even though it sounds like a broken record, let them. Do not take that opportunity to be like, hey, I told you so. That's not what they need to hear in that moment. You don't tell them I told you so when they're bawling their eyes out. You tell them that later on when you guys are laughing and joking and feeling better about the situation. That's when you're like, told you so. What's wrong with you?